Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we've got a really exciting one for you. It's a diversified company with a number of celebrity connections. The name is Limitless X Holdings, and there's a lot to unpack or go through in today's presentation. Now before we get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join. And let me know in the comment section below if you've heard of this company before, if you're currently holding shares of Limitless X, and how you think their business model looks or stands up moving forward. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be profiling Limitless X Holdings Incorporated, trades on the OTC in the United States under the ticker VYBE. This is as of close on Friday, March 17th. You can see they were down about 1.3% on the session, or 4 cents US, to close out at $2.95. Over the last month, Limitless has been trading relatively flat. However, they have been on a decline over the past 6 months, which in my opinion may represent a great buying opportunity. As you'll see in today's presentation, they've got a market cap in the neighborhood of about $10 million US, making this a true nano cap company in every sense of the word. And in addition to some of the big PRs or press releases that have come out recently talking about the brand partnerships and some of the celebrity factor, which we're going to look at later in the presentation, this is a diversified company that touches a lot of different areas and aspects within the wellness market that I definitely think you want to put on your radar. So with that being said, I first wanted to jump over to the company corporate website. I'll leave a link in the video description below if you want to go in and take a closer look for yourself and give you guys a little bit of background or context into what it is Limitless is all about. So you can see their main line here is driven by passion and purpose, empowering people to live healthier lives through our wellness focused ecosystem. And we're going to talk about the diversified components of this company in more detail throughout today's presentation. Now, if you continue to scroll down, you can see the CEO himself, Mr. Jas Mather. We're going to talk about him as an individual and his story that led him to create Limitless a little bit later in the presentation, but really a key differentiator for this company and a super unique background that really led Jas or motivated Jas to create this company. So you can see a quote here: if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. Passion, purpose, focus, and commitment can make any dream come true. And that's really the thought process or the mantra that Jas has brought to Limitless as he created and molded this company to where it is today. And you can see their mission is to build and grow meaningful brands, again, which we're going to look at in a second here, that have the ability to make an impact on people's lives. So if we now jump over to the next tab talking about what we do at Limitless, you can see there's a variety of different components here, which is one of the key reasons I love this company, because you're getting that diversification. So the common theme or thread of this organization is to build brands from the ground up and ultimately create successful high revenue brand ecosystems that again enrich people's lives. Very similar to how Jas enriched his own life on the journey to create Limitless or create this organization. So the first of the three components here is really focused on brand development and sales of products, leveraging a DTC or direct-to-consumer model that enables the organization to maximize profits. And an interesting fact here is they've actually already served over 1 million customers through the direct-to-consumer model, and they're really looking to create and launch new brands that fall in line with this DTC system. Now, the next of the three components here is sales of digital services, so targeted consumer interests, resulting in better conversion rates, leveraging their streamlined omni-channel approach. So we're going to look at that in a second here. And then finally, performance marketing to ensure success with a unified approach to advertising, publishing, and affiliate marketing. Now, with that being said, I wanted to go into a little bit more detail into each of these three key areas in order to really flush out the idea or concept behind Limitless as an organization. So the first one, again, is brand development and sales of products, really broken down into a number of key steps here, or 4 key steps within the process, focused on brand development, product manufacturing, the DTC marketing or direct-to-consumer marketing, and then finally product fulfillment. Now, the first step within this vertical or segment of the organization is really focused on brand development. So crafting those compelling brands using competitive standards and looking at evolving market demands and dynamics. So this is going to include things like market research, brand identity and positioning, labeling and packaging, and actual content marketing strategy. Now, the next step is focused on the product manufacturing, and really the key differentiator here for me is the fact that they maintain total control over the manufacturing process from start to finish. So this enables Limitless to ensure greater efficiency, quality, and cost reduction in the actual creation of these products. Now, following that would be the DTC or direct-to-consumer marketing approach, again, utilizing proven consumer marketing strategies to increase profits and capture consumer data and really avoid any third-party intermediaries. And you can see some of the benefits listed here: their own consumer communication or touch points, data collection and addresses, data-driven consumer strategies and insights, and omni-channel marketing. Now, the fourth point is really focused on fulfillment. So they use reliable behind-the-scenes fulfillment and logistics for fast delivery, which again really allows Limitless to play to their strengths in terms of the deliverables to the end customer, whether that's payment processing, customer service, delivery times, warehousing, or the returns of any of these products. So if we now jump over to the next component of this organization, the sales of digital services, focused really on creating that streamlined omni-channel approach, targeting consumer interests for better conversion rates, which I alluded to a couple of seconds ago. Again, broken down into a 4-step process focused on market research, development and technology, content generation, and branding and marketing. So again, a holistic approach to really elevate the Limitless offering compared to some of the other players in this space. So a great example of this is actually illustrated in the third point, which again is development and technology. And they highlight the creation of this consumer-focused plan to really build consumer engagement and connect people to the products and services that they love. So in this example, they're highlighting some of their wellness products. And in addition to actually offering these products for sale, they're going to build platforms for check-ins, connect to personal trainers, promote specialized products, and design personalized meal plans, which again creates this holistic ecosystem in addition to the digital sales process itself. And then the final of the 3 categories, which again is performance marketing, is broken down into 3 core pillars focused on advertisers, publishers, and influencers to really ensure that this trusted in-house process, which includes research, development, the launch, the marketing, the digital activity, and the overall experience, is held to the highest of standards and again stands out compared to any of the other players in this category. So now that we have a general understanding of how Limitless is organized, their various different business units, and the visionary jazz behind the organization, I wanted to take a look at some of the brands that are contained within the Limitless portfolio. So you can see they have 3 core verticals: health and wellness, hemp and CBD, beauty and skincare, all of which are huge growth opportunities in the market right now, and a variety of different products that fit within these categories. So NZT48, One Shot Keto, Smiles, Devitrim, Amarose, True Keto, Regal, and Optimum Keto, just to name a few. Now, where this story gets super interesting or intriguing is if we jump over to the next tab here, which is an article published by healthsectorinsight.com. I'll leave a link to this article in the video description below as well, that lays out 7 key reasons why they're so excited about Limitless X Holdings moving into 2023. So the title of the article reads, "Could this extremely low float stock send Wall Street scrambling in search of the company's limitless potential?" No pun intended. See why now may be the best time to start your research on Limitless X Inc. Again, ticker symbol VYBE on the OTCQB exchange. Now we're going to fill out each of these reasons or these 7 bullish factors in more detail as we move through the article, but I did want to quickly list them off. Some of them we've already made reference to earlier in the presentation, and some of them we're going to fill out a little bit later as we move through the article. So the first point here is in reference to the actual float or the number of shares outstanding. So an extremely low float with less than 1.13 million shares available in the public float according to MarketWatch.com. And what this means from an investment standpoint is when these companies or stocks pick up momentum, because there's very few shares available, the supply and demand equation comes into play. And when you see a spike in demand and limited supply, it can actually set the stage for big potential swings or moves in the share price. Now, continuing along that theme in relation to share price, the next point talks about how undervalued this company could be. So in general terms, nano-cap companies are considered to have market caps under $50 million, which again, Limitless does. And at the time this article was put together, which was January 25th, they had a market cap just under $19 million and a share price of $4.75. So you're now able to pick up shares at a fraction of the cost you could have only a couple of months ago, which further brings this point to life. Now, the next point here is in relation to the growth strategy, which we did mention a little bit earlier in the presentation. So they've got plans to generate organic growth as well as M&A potential opportunities. And although they're currently looking to expand their product line and footprint domestically, they are eyeing international opportunities down the road, which again is going to open up a greater TAM or total addressable market. And the company currently anticipates net revenues in the range of about $80 million for 2023. So big growth opportunity, really putting their foot on the gas with a lot of catalysts on the horizon. And that's a perfect segue to the next point, which talks about that total addressable market and the massive market potential that we're referring to when we talk about the wellness market. So the global wellness market is currently in the neighborhood of about $4.4 trillion. And again, this is growing each and every year as consumers intend to keep spending more on products that improve both their inner and outer self. And as we saw in the previous slide when we talked about their brand portfolio, all of those individual brands are focused on either improving people internally or externally, or in some cases both. Now, I made reference to this stat in the intro, but Limitless X has already served over 1 million US customers in their DTC model or ecosystem, again, direct-to-consumer ecosystem. And what's nice about this is it gives a better customer experience because they own or control the entire process, and they can keep costs down because there's no middleman. And obviously, as a result of that, increased profits or profit margins, which we love to see as an investment community. Now, the next point talks about the celebrity connections. We're going to look at a few examples as we move through the article. Some of the big ones are Floyd Mayweather or Money Mayweather, Rita Ora, and Dr. Oz from TV. But there's a number of other ones, especially in the MMA community, again, that you'll see in a second here. And then finally, the CEO, Jazz Mather, who again has one incredible personal growth story, which I'm going to share with you guys in a second here. He's overcome a ton of adversity, and he's used this to really innovate, create, and propel Limitless X to where it is today. Now, the first section I wanted to spend a little bit more time on really talks about the health, wellness, and beauty categories or market potential in the United States. And if you continue to scroll down, as we discussed earlier, Limitless X already has an ecosystem of products focused on those three verticals: health and wellness, beauty and skincare, and CBD-based products, with each of these different areas containing a variety of different companies. So all of these really play into that $4.4 trillion global wellness opportunity. And whether you're talking about nutrition, vitamins, beauty products, they all fit under that wellness umbrella. And this visual here actually breaks down that entire $4.4 trillion market based on the various different categories, with personal care and beauty coming in just shy of $1 trillion, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss almost on the same level, and then a number of other categories down the line from there. Now, in the United States alone, the health and wellness industry is valued at about $1.2 trillion, so it makes up a sizable portion of the global market, and on a percentage basis, accounts for about 28% of the global market. Now, as I just mentioned, the two categories that have the biggest valuation within this overall segment is personal care and beauty, coming in at $955 billion, and then healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss coming in at $946 billion. And these are the two categories that are the biggest focal point for Limitless X. So between the three verticals that we just mentioned, they've got over 20 brands of consumer products that fall into this category. So to summarize this, huge market opportunity, growing market in terms of number of individuals, overall spend, and compound annual growth rate, and dozens of brands within the Limitless X Holdings portfolio that are specifically targeted at this opportunity. Now, with all that being said, and as promised, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the man himself, Jaspreet Mathur, who's the chairman and CEO of Limitless X. Now, I introduced you to him on the company website. We saw that motivational quote, but there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. So this is a picture of Jazz here, and what's super interesting is Jazz started his first business at the age of 11. So his passion for business and entrepreneurship were evident at a very young age. And he actually used this in combination for his love of wrestling, which he watched with his dad, to create this first company. Now, Jazz went on to sell that organization at the age of 16. So before he was even done high school, Jazz had already built and sold a company. And from there, he continued on that entrepreneurial path, launching a number of successful companies, ranging from satellite TV to digital surveillance, downloadable media, online dating, online gambling, and internet advertising. And by doing so, grew this portfolio of businesses to over $50 million a year in terms of run rate by the time he was in his mid-20s. Now from there, Jazz had a major turning point in his life. He realized that money and financial success wasn't everything that it was cracked up to be, and there was more to life. So here's a picture of Jazz here at age 22, where he weighed over 450 pounds and had a waist 68 inches around. So his shorts were actually coming in at a 6XL. And despite his financial success, Jazz found himself at a point where he was really struggling with weight and his overall health. So in 2008, Jazz was actually motivated to make a stand here or make a change in his life, partially motivated by losing weight and partially the desire to capture a girl's interest. So at that point in time, Jazz, again 450 pounds, was barely acknowledged by the girl he was trying to impress. And it's at that point that Jazz decided to make his health a priority and to set two new goals for his career. So number one was to share his story with others, and number two was enter the nutritional supplements industry. So Jazz scoured the local nutrition stores to find the best and most effective products. He began selling them on his established eBay store and quickly started selling out. So Jazz quickly determined that there was a big market for these type of products, and he was personally finding a lot of success with them in his own fitness or health journey. Now, after a few months, Jazz decided to build a custom website, which he called Winnie's Vitamins and Supplements, where he carried these major brands and products. So this site actually launched January 1st of 2011, and from there evolved into what's known as Core Fit Living, which is a chain of franchise-ready modern health boutiques, which allowed Jazz to invite customers into a cool, comfortable environment where they could work on their health for themselves. Now fast forward to November of 2018, that's when Jazz decided to launch Limitless X, which represents his biggest endeavor to date. And again, stay true to his core and focus on these areas of expertise, which include nutrition, wellness, and weight loss products. And here's a before and after picture of Jazz showing this remarkable weight loss journey. Now, once Limitless X was formed, Jazz really started to gain a lot of momentum, and that's where the celebrity factor comes into play. So you can see Floyd Mayweather representing the Limitless brand and logo on his hat at one of his exhibition fights. And on Saturday, September 24th of last year, Money Mayweather stepped into the boxing ring wearing that Limitless X and VYBE, which again is the stock symbol or ticker, logos on his center waist belt. And you can see the VYBE ticker displayed there. Now this is another picture of Jazz and Mayweather showing off some of the company's wellness products here. And he's also rubbed shoulders with The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, Dana White from the UFC, and some of the biggest names in the MMA space, George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva, are seen here wearing the Limitless brand and logo. So for those reasons, and what we discussed earlier in today's presentation on the company website, I definitely think Limitless X is one you should keep your eye on, especially if you're looking for diversified exposure to the health and wellness market. Between their brand development, their digital marketing, their DTC or direct-to-consumer fulfillment, this company has a lot going for them. They're forecasting big numbers for 2023. They've already got the celebrity connection and a visionary CEO, Jazz, who we've talked about at length, really leading this organization with a ton of experience and successful business ventures behind him. Now, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Limitless X? Are you currently holding shares? And have you personally purchased or tried any of their portfolio of brands. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join. We'd love to have you. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.